Hello. What up, y'all? Coming back at you with another video. Today I wanted to talk about, is the narcissist an alien, a fallen angel? Because they're not human. Okay, I wanted to go over just a few things. When you start looking at their character and you put it all together, it just doesn't seem like they're humanity like us at all, yet they're mixed in with us. So when you think about they have no empathy or lack of empathy, I've always had them with no empathy. The way that they just compulsively and pathologically lie. The faces that you see on them, the childhood injuries that they spot on you, how that they can target their prey, the hijacking that goes on, and whether they've hijacked someone or they were born as that person, I have no idea, or if that person was hijacked by a fallen angel. I'm just throwing this out here because I listened to some stuff just a little while ago, and it kind of got me thinking, because I had listened to it a long time ago and I thought it was really stupid and crazy. But the more I think about it, I believe it's a possibility that they could be fallen angels. But anyway, the way the trauma bond works, how they rarely get caught, and if they do get caught, somehow it's always your fault, and it's almost like they get away with it. And pure humanity, we can't get away with things like that. It just doesn't work. It's not in our nature. It's almost like it's like that we have to abide by a separate set of rules. And I understand that they don't believe they have to, but they actually do get away with it in a lot of ways. And we do know at least there's something in them. I mean, I do. I used to think it's demons, and I'll get to that in a minute, and then they just never apologize, which is really, it's not humanity. It's inhumane. It's weird. This is all weird stuff. The cheating that goes on, and they don't really get caught. If they do, somehow they get out of it, and they gaslight you. It's the low vibration that will actually cause, people say could possibly cause like sickness and autoimmune type diseases and lupuses and stuff like that. And I mean, go figure, right? The stress that comes around with them that you feel on your shoulders, I felt that, and the pressure. I used to feel that all the time. They just very rarely sleep. I mean, the ones that I've been around be like a few hours, man. And then they're gone and up or whatever all day. It's really weird. The lifestyle and how they almost represent complete, in my opinion, they do represent complete blasphemy. But that's for God to decide. I don't want to judge or prejudge, but I'm just discussing. I'm not judging, I'm discussing. That's what I like to do on this channel, because that's what I do in real life. So there's nothing good in them. They have these weird stares with these eyes that are just look dead. And if you ever catch them stalking, it's like you can't even get those eyes to blink. It's really odd. They're totally fixed on you. And I don't know if you've ever been gang stalked. After I unmasked one, I got gang stalked. It's kind of weird. It's like a spirit keeping an eye on you, jumping from person to person, and they just have this stare like right through you, and it's just dead. It's like they have no sex type. I mean, they will have sex with anybody, and they don't even have a dating type. I mean, it's just really weird. They're all flesh. If you ever look at a narcissist and compare it to the Bible or scripture, they're all fleshly. Like when the Bible talks about flesh, and corruption of the flesh, that's what they live under completely and inherently. The stalking that goes on with them, how like they can get offended and then you won't even know it, and then they'll set up plans to destroy you in the future down the road. And you know, it's as if and they're supposed to be the ones that you're married to, you're dating, the closest people to you. These are people that you're supposed to team up with, and they're competing with you and trying to steal things out from under you and destroy your life. I mean, that's just not humane. That doesn't make sense. And I know they call this a disorder, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, I know that what the signs are and what the red flags are. I know I'm naming red flags, but think about it. In a spiritual sense, this is really, and even, you know, down here in the physical world, is weird. These people are humanity, but not humane. They're just empty inside. They're soulless. You feel like you're dealing with somebody soulless with no personality. They're fixed. Their mind is just fixed, and they can never be wrong. They think they're gods. You know, a lot of people, you know, say that they believe that they're gods and that they own you. There's ownership over you, and they're better than you. And it makes me think, because, you know, what did the fallen angels, or they thought that they were better, which they were made. And I used to read that they were made of fire and we were made of the dust of the earth, you know. And so they were more powerful, they were more beautiful, and God was focusing, you know, on humanity. I mean, like, so there's in a sense there's jealousy there for the fallen angels, but it's like it's an unexpected disorder, and nobody knows it. You can't really put your finger on it, and most of them are still out here undiagnosed, and we don't even know how many there are. And a lot of times you'll just say they're an asshole, or they're a B, you know, but there's more to it than that. And here's the other one. Most of humanity, most of society, if you haven't dated a bunch of these and actually woke to it, you're not even gonna know that it's even out there. And for the few of us that are awoke and know that it's out there, it's freaking weird to us. Don't you agree? I mean, tell me in the comments, because I feel like I'm walking around a lot of zombies. It's like a zombie apocalypse. And these people, and they're feeding off of us through our energy, through our soul energy, and they're deflecting, they're flinging and projecting, and most of society has no idea what's going on. I mean, some people, if they're unawoke to this, if it wasn't for the internet, I don't think we would all know about this. And this has been going on for, you know, we say it's like a big influx of it. I mean, it could have always been like this. But are we dealing with fallen angels? You know, angels and demons are different. Demons are the disembodied spirits of the giants from Genesis 6. When the group of fallen angels, the watchers, had sex with human women, and then they created giants in the land, they were locked in the abyss, the lowest parts of the abyss, that 200 set of angels. But they are not. They're not demon. And then there was the other fallen angels, and the demons are the disembodied spirits of the giants, which is their copulations between human women and the angels, the fallen angels. And so where are the fallen angels now, and where are the demons now? Well, if you think about it, what did Christ do? He commissioned us to cast out demons, right? And that's what he did. I mean, he cast out a lot of demons, but a lot of demons were in, a lot of them were in sick people. Not always. I mean, there was legion, but it was usually sicknesses and things like that. But my point is, you know, the Pharisees, they were a brew of vipers, he called them, just like their father, the devil. There was Judas. So we know these people were hijacked, just like the narcissist is. But why didn't he cast those out? If they were demons, why didn't he cast them out? And that's one of my main points. Because like he just would deal with them, but it wasn't like he grabbed them and cast demons out of them, because we talk about that the narcissist can't get help, but also like it's not like if they were demon possessed. My point is couldn't we then get them delivered? And then we would have stories of narcissists being delivered. And maybe that's the case, and I don't know, but what I've seen in the research that I've done, I have not seen that. And so it makes me wonder if they could be, this is a weird, strange theory, but could they be incarnated within humanity, and they run as a hive mind, but they're just to destroy us. I mean, they're Terminators. They're self-made Terminators, but they grow up in all different types of families, so it's not really like the bloodline. I mean, I don't believe, there's too many of them to say it would be a certain bloodline. So if you scratch the bloodline out, and as early in childhood as they say it happens through trauma, God's a fair God. And yeah, I know he knows greater things than we do. I understand that. But still, if they could they lose their soul at 4 years old? It just makes me wonder, were they incarnated that way? Like the fallen hosts are maybe forced to incarnate into humanity over and over again, never to be able to leave. There's also demons, but then the demons could be cast out. But see, the fallen angels couldn't. And that's my question. Because where are they today? And the ones that it says in the Bible that are locked up, like in 2 Peter 2:4, or in Jude, those are all talking about the 200 that went into the human women in Genesis 6. That's not talking about all of the fallen angels. It's talking about the 200 in Genesis 6 that did something separate. They came down, they saw women were fond, the human women, and they interjected their seed into them. And so this is a separate thing. It doesn't really touch on, in my opinion, what the fallen angels are doing today outside of those scriptures. So, and then it does, if we don't typically believe in reincarnation. I know we don't get reincarnated here. That's why if you have like an ancestor that, I saw the ghost of my ancestor, it told me to do this. No, that's a familiar spirit, because we don't reincarnate. Humanity doesn't reincarnate, but it doesn't talk about a fallen angel. And a lot of times these famous people, and like that you could look back in time and there'll be pictures of these same people in the past. It's like, they keep coming back here because they're damned to keep coming back here, but they are ruling, right? It says that we wrestle not, Ephesians 6:12, we wrestle not with flesh and blood, right? But we deal with principalities and powers in these high places. It doesn't have to mean that a high place is in the heavens. Yeah, because it talked about in Revelation, I think around chapter 7, that or somewhere in Revelation, that they get cast down to earth. And like I said, I will promise you, we are post-tribulation, and we are in the short time thereafter. And the mud flood conspiracy shows all that, and it'll make you understand the Bible better, more word for word, how it really, why Christ hasn't come back yet. And it's been 2,000 years, and we think that, he said it was a short time, and them adding 1,000 years to the calendar. Anyway, I think it's odd that they're in humanity, they're undiagnosed, they're like completely insane, but they're able to function. They're able to function in the world, and then on a covert level, most of them there's a few, the overt ones, there's different flavors of them, but there's not many. Most of them are on a covert level, and most of humanity doesn't even know it. And so just think about this. Is it that it's just like nobody knows anything about this stuff, like for the real. And if you look up the definitions of it, it's almost the blandest, crappiest definition. You never even come to what we have understood it to be. And it just seems like they're out for complete destruction of us. And they know how to target us. They know how to break us down. And it talks about in Romans, right? Romans 1:21 through 32. It talks about how you have this group of people, for although they knew not, they neither glorified God, and nor gave thanks to him, but their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for an images made to look like a mortal human being, and birds and animals and reptiles. Therefore God gave them over in their sinful desires of their hearts to sexual impurity for the degrading of their bodies with one another. They exchanged the truth about God for a lie, and worshipped and served the created things rather than the Creator, who is forever praised. Amen. Because of this, God gave them over to shameful lusts. Even their women exchanged natural sexual relations for unnatural ones. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed shameful acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty for their error. Furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain knowledge of God, so God gave them over to a depraved mind, so that they do what ought not be done. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossipers, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who such things deserve death, they not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. Okay, that's Romans 21 through 32, and it describes the narcissist. And anyway, my point is it's either fallen angels, you're dealing with demons, or you're dealing with humanity that somehow lost it completely and are just the dead walking, it seems, according to Romans and what we see. Anyway, I'm just throwing that at you because the weirdest thing to me is the situation of how they act and operate. And then they're like AI as well. And I believe that the way the enemy gets into our world system is always through the AI. What is he known as? The prince and the power of the air of this world. The air, your TV, your music, your media, your social media, your movies, all of that. That's the air that it's talking about in the word. And it's everywhere. Even billboards are now like big TVs. It's everywhere. It's always going. And I believe that's where they get through to us, from the dimensions. They're locked out from us. They get through to us that way. And You know, I just believe the spiritual conscious of the Illuminati is narcissism again. And it's like, you'll never see an empath working in a Fortune 500 company because we don't live on fright or flight and lack, and we won't destroy somebody to get into that spot or destroy somebody to get that extra sale. So we're not going to elevate like a narcissist would, because you gotta be heartless to get into that big corporate America. You have to be heartless. You have to be, what do they say, beast mode. You have to be a savage. And that's a narcissist. You just think about it. It's like the whole construct of the hive mind. And in the Bible and Revelation, it would call them one-mindedness. The damned were one-mindedness, which is the same thing as a hive mind. They all operate in a conglomerate, but nobody gets caught. If you get caught, it's okay because it was supposed to happen. It's just part of the stage to destroy mankind. It's just, there's going to be another agenda coming from it, you know, and that's how they could rule and reign over the whole earth, not get caught, look like humanity, but they're not. They're cloaked in with us, and we don't even diagnose them. We just think sometimes they're assholes. And it's like we're always looking for the aliens from outer space to come. They're right here amongst us, man. You know, it's like, remember we had that show of Visitors? They looked like us. You could peel the skin off or something, and it was like some reptile underneath or something. I mean, there's a lot of stuff where it shows that, or where they live, where they put the glasses on. You know, the glasses are, you know, the waking to this. That's what the glasses are. Anyway, I'm gonna post this, but yeah, give me a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe. Stand tall, soldier up. Peace out. Love y'all.